He's here.
Okay. Counselor Nahums
Here.
and Counselor Harden,
Here.
all present.
Okay. Quorum, so at this time I'll entertain a motion to dispense of the reading and approve of the minutes from the Public Safety Committee meeting on May 2nd.
So moved.
Counselor Harden motion.
Second.
Second by Counselor Jones. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. All right, under old business 270322, request for consideration to add wayfinding signage in the northern section of downtown. We've had a little bit of email discussion about this today, and identified a couple of locations. We also have pricing that is available.
We do. Thank you so much to Robert for reaching out to our contact at Southern Nameplate. A 4x6 multicolor sign is $195, and a 2x3 multicolor sign is $130.
What was the first one?
$195 for 4x6,
Uh-huh.
and a 2x3 is $130.
You repeat that, sorry.
Sure. A 4x6 is $195, multicolored, and a 2x3 is $130.
So in the email discussion today, Councilor Sims had proposed a couple of locations. I'm trying to grab that to share with Mr. Wallace. I'm not finding it currently. Essentially, there were two spots on Rosedale Drive, one at the 19th Place intersection and one at the Mamie L. Foster intersection, right where the Jack Robert gas station is, in Robertson Bank. The other location appeared to be in the median, in front of, across from 27th Avenue, across from Ruby Mons, and then there was one at the intersection of 27th and maybe Foster,
Yes.
right? Okay. I think all four of those locations are good locations to help divert traffic off of Rosedale and divert traffic off of 18th Street, especially if you're going to one of the restaurants or going to the hotel parking. So, or trying to get into a different part of downtown, so you don't have to channel through 18th Street. But
Do you want me to send this to Brian to put up on the screen?
yeah, I was trying to find it.
Okay.
I couldn't dig it up.
Hey, Brian, I'm gonna send you this link, okay?
So, open up the committee and council for discussion.
I think the 4x6 signs are gonna be more easily seen. I don't know how that's gonna look.
Yeah, my apologies, Brian. I meant to send this to you, but I was driving.
I didn't know he was.
Glad you didn't do that while you were driving.
Yeah, no testing and driving.
I didn't know he left it up.
There we go.
What were you saying?
You see it?
Yeah. So I will say the only observation that I had was I have a little bit of heartburn with the leftmost star being in the median because we don't have any signage in the median. We also have wires for, I think there's sprinklers there and wires for lighting that is in place. I'd rather not have the potential to damage, nor do I like the way it looks with our nice medians having a directional signage just right in the middle of it. Just my opinion. I'll be quiet. Councilor Jones.
Mr. Chairman, yeah, that was the reason I was making the comments earlier. The whole point of a revitalization project, and a lot of my opinions, I guess, come from seeing a picture of Southside before the revitalization of Southside. And if you've ever seen it, it will blow your mind with all the Cobra lights and you know, above wires, and I mean, it just looked horrible. And they just completely converted that. And so, the less of that you can have, the better. And I don't think we need signage in the median on either side. We need to find somewhere to put it that is going to make it look a little cleaner without just the signage in the median. That's. So
Would it be possible to move it north above where Rosedale hits?
I agree with that, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, that, to me, on the right side, or whatever. I mean,
That's the point, right? Is try to get them to make that turn, not come down 18th Street
yeah,
if they don't have
so
to.
I don't
That's
know
the
why we
point.
got it so far down south.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I do want to kind of reference a couple things. One is, I think the primary potential signage would be the one that is at 19th Street and Rosedale Drive. That was kind of the one that I thought maybe would be the best fit for routing traffic from Rosedale Drive down 19th to City Hall. I actually like the turn at Mamie better for a block down, but Mamie right now doesn't seem to have the road capacity and it's not at a light, so it just seems better for 19th Street. The ones on 18th Street southbound, where it shows the one in the median at Little Donkey, and then you turn and you also have directional signage south at Mamie. I actually think that those may be not as necessary at this point. When we started this conversation, we were talking about not having a left turn at 18th and 28th Avenue, but since we've continued that turn being permitted, I don't know that it's as essential to even have those signs. That being said, having something up at Rosedale Drive to that same effect definitely has value. But I did want to kind of clarify that those two in that area of Little Donkey may be less relevant at this time, with that left turn at 18th and 28th being continued allowed. And as far as the one on Rosedale Drive, one at 19th is essentially kind of a primary location, and the other one past that is an alternative location. But I'm not necessarily saying that we would need one at both. So those are kind of just plots I put on for discussion. I want to explain that aspect.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So
Yes.
if we do have a left
That's the
turn
point,
at
is-
28, we don't need those two.
Right.
The point we're
So-
trying to, what my intention was, when we started this conversation, obviously, again, like you said, was that left turn lane. There are people that come through downtown. I mean, I do it all the time, that to get to where I live, I do it all the time. Now, I'd like to reroute that traffic up to 31, which is really where it should go. So, to ease traffic off of this section here, so that moves that sign up there.
Yeah.
So if I'm hearing correctly, we'll remove the sign at the intersection of 27th and 18th Place. We'll move the sign on 18th Street up above Rosedale Drive to the north.
Like before the turn.
Yeah, before.
So you could hit the two turn lanes and go into Rosedale Drive. Okay.
Because if they don't see it before then, that'll already be all the way over.
Yeah, I agree. But further up, right? I think we also need to consider, as a committee or as council, the base of the sign.
Yeah.
Instead of just using the
Yeah.
standard. We want it to be
Yeah.
in keeping with the other signage we have downtown.
Totally.
I know you can get sign bases that are somewhat more decorative. They don't have to be that elaborate, but we've got some good options similar to our.
Well, and we also need to talk about verbiage, and we also need to talk about what we're doing. So, if you want, I could maybe get with Randy to talk about, or I could start an email chain or whatever's easier. But the idea, like, we really do want to nail the verbiage to make sure we're not just adding signs for adding signs' sake, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
I'd like a draft of what it looks like before we do anything.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So why don't we?
if you click those points, like there's some additional notes on each one too, just so if you have the link and go back to it later, there's some notes as far as like what words are in there, such as city hall,
Right.
what directional arrow, could be placed and so forth. So I think if y'all are fine using this as a tool, we can add
Yeah.
stars and move them around and share that with Randy as well.
Okay, if you want, I'll start that tomorrow with Randy and just copy everybody on that, or
So since we have the locations ironed out, we have the costs,
Yeah.
why don't we move this forward if there's a motion, if someone feels good with a not to exceed of maybe $3,000, because the signs are 200, if you do 4x6s for all of them, but the bases are gonna cost, unless Randy has the budget for those, but I don't really wanna tax his existing budget that he's already planning for. So I could imagine with the posts, the labor will be on the city. Posts will cost money.
So I think 3,000 might be low. I mean,
Not to exceed
yeah.
5. Or do we want
I mean, I don't know
wait
what-
another 2 weeks? The only reason I'm wanting us to move forward is I don't want us to get to the World Games and a lot of traffic being coming back up over the mountain. But that could be a non-issue. Any thoughts from the committee? a motion? Carry it over.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with it, not to exceed $4,000.
All right, there's a motion from Counselor Harden to approve not to exceed $4,000 and a second by Counselor Wolverton. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay.
Is this going to finance, or y'all making a recommendation for that at council?
Probably do need to refer it to finance.
Everything
Yeah.
goes through finance.
Send it to council and then we'll do it on the floor. I think that's the best way.
All right, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, send it to council.
Okay, so we have 5-0, that motion carries. Under old business, 1903-22, request to consider traffic calming updates for existing projects. So primarily, we've got Forest and
Forest Brook.
Forest Brook.
Yeah.
Oh, South Forest and Forest Brook are the two active right now. So, any updates to share?
As
We
far as,
talked- Go ahead.
yeah, go
I was just gonna say, we had talked last week, 2 weeks ago, just about getting the website updated, and there was some traffic about that today. And after the committee meeting 2 weeks ago, we discussed what to do. So I believe those will be implemented shortly.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, Mr. Smith, do you know if we have the traffic counters up and operational again yet, or?
I think, I haven't heard from Randy today. I think they're still in the shop. So, once we get those back, I think that we're gonna reinstall, some of the.
With a little bit of
things that
fortification
were out
too?
there That have been, damaged by traffic, bicycles and other things that have run back there. So, but right now, we're just kind of on hold until we get the pneumatic tubes back, and then we'll be able to install those, reinstall the chicanes, and get a real, accurate measurement on how we're doing as far as traffic.
Do you think we might have any progress on that in a couple weeks? At least getting them back so that we can,
I don't have.
not sure. Okay.
Yeah, you should probably need at least a week of data collected, right? 7 days, 5 days?
Yeah, per area, yeah.
I think we
Hey,
carried
the good
over.
news is, as we were worried about, no one stole your plans.
Wait, did they put plants on South Forest? Because they weren't on Forest Brook.
I don't know, I didn't drive the other ones.
Yeah, so, yeah.
I'd say we
We'd
carried over.
Carry
All
that
right,
over.
we will carry over 1903-22, and with that, public safety is adjourned.